For decades, we believed we knew the truth about these giant statues. But in 2023, scientists unearthed something no one expected to find. And now everything we thought we knew about Easter Island must be rewritten. What lies buried beneath these stone giants is more terrifying than any legend could predict. You've seen these images before, right? The famous giant heads of Easter Island. But here's the problem. They're not just heads. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now. This video will completely change the way you see ancient civilizations. For over a century, archaeologists thought they understood these statues called Moai, ancestral monuments, status symbols, tribal art. Simple as that. But recently, excavations revealed that most of these heads have full bodies buried underground, some more than 9 meters deep. And when scientists started digging deeper, they found something that turned everything into a true archaeological nightmare. Because what lies beneath these statues should not be there. In 2023, an international team returned to Easter Island with cutting-edge technology and a controversial theory. The Moai were not monuments. They were lids. And what they discovered underneath confirmed their worst fears. Underground chambers, not natural, deliberately built, with basalt supports, stone steps leading into darkness, and reinforced walls as if containing something. But it gets worse. Inside these chambers, they found human remains, not traditional burials. Deposits, bones with trauma marks, burned, broken. Some fused directly into the volcanic rock, as if they had been deliberately sealed there forever. Drop a like if you're getting chills like I did when I researched this. And there's more. When scientists entered these chambers with audio equipment, they captured something inexplicable. A low-frequency hum that you don't hear. You feel it, vibrating in your chest, in your bones. One researcher described it as being in the presence of something sleeping. This is where the story gets truly disturbing. The Rapanui people, the original inhabitants of the island, always had legends about these statues. Legends we dismissed as primitive mythology. They spoke of a brutal war between two factions, the long ears and the short ears, an oppressive elite versus rebellious slaves. The final battle supposedly happened near burning trenches, where the defeated were thrown alive into the flames. For centuries, this was considered just a story, until archaeologists excavated the exact location described in the legend. And they found exactly what the story said. Layers of burned soil, charcoal, and carbonized human remains piled up as if thrown into a massive fire. The dating, it matches perfectly with the oral traditions. Comment below. Do you think some legends are real memories disguised as myth? But the most chilling detail in the legends isn't about war, it's about the purpose of the Moai. According to the Rapanui elders, the statues were positioned with their backs to the sea, facing inward, because they were watching something that must never escape. Now pay attention. These statues were not made by primitive people improvising. Each Moai weighs between 10 and 90 tons. The largest is 10 meters tall, and hundreds of them were carved with nearly identical proportions. That's not chance. That's a production system. Laser scans in 2022 revealed chisel marks so precise and uniform that they resemble techniques used in ancient Peru and even Egypt. Civilizations that supposedly never had contact. How did they move these giants? For decades, researchers theorized about sleds and wooden rollers, until modern teams proved that the statues could walk. Yes, walk. Using only ropes and coordinated teamwork, groups of 15 to 20 people managed to rock a Moai replica forward, making it walk across the island. The legends of walking statues? They were literal. But here's the most unsettling part. When we map the Moai on a modern grid, they're not random. They're aligned over specific geomagnetic points, places where Earth's magnetic field behaves abnormally. If you think this is insane, share this video. This story needs to be known. How did a civilization with no compasses or magnetometers know where those points were? And more importantly, why did they care? For centuries, we were taught that Easter Island collapsed because its people cut all the trees to transport statues, causing ecological disaster and famine. A beautiful environmental cautionary tale. There's just one problem. It's not true. Pollen and sediment analysis shows the forest didn't disappear slowly. The fall was abrupt, catastrophic, as if something sudden happened. And the burn peaks? They weren't slow or spread over centuries. They were concentrated, especially near Moai clusters. Researchers now believe much of the deforestation was ritualistic. Ceremonial fires, sacrifices. And they found even more disturbing evidence, signs of ritual cannibalism. Bones with precise cut marks, broken for marrow extraction, burned in ceremonial pits. It wasn't hunger, it was spiritual terror. But the scariest detail? The construction of the Moai stopped suddenly, tools abandoned beside half-finished statues, as if the workers dropped everything and ran. What terrified them so much that they abandoned their most sacred sites? Rock paintings from later periods reveal something shocking. The Rapanui began to fear the Moai. Frantic engravings show statues cracking open, human figures without limbs surrounded by flames, chaotic spirals. These are not serene religious depictions. They are images of panic. And in several parts of the island, Moai were intentionally toppled, not by invaders, but by the Rapanui themselves. Before European contact, oral traditions speak of statues that became furious, that caused sickness to anyone who slept near them. The Moai, once revered as protectors, became threats. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video on archaeological mysteries. The people didn't stop building because the statues failed to protect them. They stopped because the statues succeeded. And by doing so, they revealed something too dangerous to face. Here's the theory gaining traction among researchers. The Moai were seals, not symbols, locks, strategically built over tunnel systems and underground chambers, positioned over geomagnetic anomalies, designed to contain, suppress, or imprison something the Rapanui feared more than death itself. Ground-penetrating radar revealed a massive network of modified lava tubes beneath the main Moai sites. A central shaft, still unexplored, plunges into darkness, lined with plates engraved with unknown symbols. And when the seals began to fail, when Moai fell, cracked, lost their spiritual force, the people descended into total despair. Fire, blood, sacrifice. And when nothing worked, they abandoned everything, buried the chambers, let the statues fall. Because something was escaping. An anonymous researcher recently said, "The deeper we dig, the more it seems the Moai were suppressing a literal threat. And now many of the statues have fallen." If they were part of a containment system, what happens when we disturb what they were built to restrain? And here's the detail no one talks about. Modern expeditions report inexplicable phenomena. Electronic equipment failing near the chambers, compasses spinning uncontrollably, team members having recurring nightmares after spending days near the tunnels. In 2024, during a nighttime excavation, security cameras captured a sound that shouldn't exist, a low pulsating frequency coming from beneath the ground. When analyzed, the sound followed a mathematical pattern. It wasn't random, it was structured, as if something down there was trying to communicate, or worse, trying to get out. Some researchers abandoned the project, others refused to return to the island, and one of them, who preferred to remain anonymous, left one final message. "I don't know what the Rapanui were trying to imprison down there, but I know they had a good reason, and we should stop digging." Easter Island was not a paradise destroyed by greed, it was a battlefield. And the Moai were the last line of defense. So what do you think? Were the Moai just monumental art? Or was something much darker buried beneath those statues? Leave your theory in the comments. I read all of them. If this video changed your perspective on ancient civilizations, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to see this. Subscribe to the channel because every week I bring archaeological mysteries, disturbing theories, and discoveries mainstream science doesn't want you to know. And turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video where we'll investigate other ancestral mysteries. Until next time, if we have the courage to dig deeper.